paper.
Hello folks, today we're back with another episode with your all-time favorite host Raja. It's been a while since I last talked to this mic and it's been really nice to be back. As for today, we're gonna talk about a topic that is rarely discussed among us people, which is eating disorder. Is it a mental health issue? Let's talk about it, but I won't be talking about it alone, of course. Please welcome our guest.
Hi, good evening everyone. I'm Dr. Aisha, a psychiatrist working at UKM Hospital. I specialize in science of human behavior and I graduated in with a degree in social science. I enjoy meeting up with my patients and helping them in any way I could. So I'm so glad to be here, to be given the opportunity today to be here.
Okay, hi, I'm Ain, a third-year student who is currently studying chemical engineering in UTP. I'm so glad to be here with our special host and amazing doctor. I hope we will all enjoy ourselves here today.
So I'm sure everyone has heard about eating disorder, aka ED, right? But you guys really know what it is? I mean, from what I know, eating disorder is common among students in early adulthood. So Ain,
Yes?
you are a student, right?
Yes.
What do you know about eating disorder?
Oh, eating disorder? I've heard about it and I've done some research about it on the internet. And apparently, I'm most likely to develop ED. Well, I completely disagree because all my friends have the same routine as me and I think it's common. I think people are just overreacting.
What are those habits, Ain? Do you mind sharing it with us?
It's simple. I usually take my meals twice or once a day, and it's usually in a small portion. Oh, and I would usually weigh myself to make sure I don't exceed 45 kg.
Oh, I see. What's your opinion on this, Dr. Aisha?
Oh, this is the exact issue that the young generation these days are facing. Well, they skip meals and lose weight drastically thinking it's normal when it's actually not. This issue is rarely taken seriously when it's important for our health. Believe it or not, this can be concluded as an eating disorder.
Really? What exactly do you mean by an eating disorder then?
There are many types of eating disorder which often defined as fatal illnesses that are associated with severe disturbances in people's eating behavior and related thoughts and emotions. The one that Miss Ain here is currently facing is known as anorexia nervosa, and it's a condition where people avoid food or severely restrict food. They also might weigh themselves repeatedly to the point when dangerously underweight. They may see themselves as an overweight.
Wow.
Apart from the symptoms said by Ms. Ain, there are other symptoms like extreme thinness, distorted body image, means that a self-esteem that is heavily influenced by perceptions of body weight and shape.
Well, honestly, I myself wouldn't actually see this disorder as a disadvantage. I mean, it's a great way to maintain a good figure and to avoid overeating. People my age will be delighted.
You might think like that for now, Miss Ain, but over time, patients might develop dry and yellowish skin along with brittle hair and nails. Sometimes, mild anemia and thinning of bones. In serious cases, patients might even face multi-organ failure.
Multi-organ failure? I should have been taken easily then. I mean, this could actually lead to that.
Well then, I think I should slowly take my meals properly. I do want a good figure, but I think I should do it healthily.
That's correct, Miss Ain.
But I do have a story to tell. I have a friend who's the complete opposite of me. What I mean is, instead of taking meals in smaller portions, she would take them in larger portions. She would usually snack on chips and biscuits every hour. Plus, she'd have candies in her pockets as something to chew on. Is that a problem, Doc?
Well, as normal as it seems, it is in fact categorized as eating disorder. This one is known as binge eating. It's when people lose control over their eating and eating unusual amount of food. People with binge eating disorder often are overweight or obese.
Well, is there any signs of binge eating, doctor?
Certainly. Binge eating is when you eat even when you are full or not hungry. Sometimes it can happen when you are feeling ashamed or guilty about your eating. Other time is when you eat in a large amount in a short period of time.
So, not only when you eat less it's a disorder, but also when you eat more? I guess it's really important to know then.
Exactly. Is there any steps to prevent this eating disorder, Dr. Aisha?
There's nothing to worry about, Raja. There are tons of ways to avoid eating disorder. One of the most crucial steps is to promote a positive body image. You should encourage yourself and others to focus on being healthy rather than trying to look a certain way to meet the beauty standards.
That's right.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I would always ask myself whether or not I meet up to the beauty standards. But now, I think it's time for me to grow up and care about my own health rather than my appearance.
Absolutely right. You should always speak kindly to yourself and practice self-compassion. Avoid negative self-talk and always remind yourself that you are beautiful the way you are.
Aw, thanks. Now I'm blushing.
Anyways, is there any other steps to prevent eating disorder, Dr. Aisha?
Yes, there is. Another step is that you should encourage balanced eating habits. Avoid dieting culture that promotes extreme restriction and elimination of entire food groups, as this will lead to unhealthy attitudes towards food.
What do you mean by that, Dr. Aisha?
It means that when you are dieting, you should aim for balanced meals that included a variety of nutrients instead of cutting the amount of food that you took every day. Additionally, you should always listen to your body.
Listen to our body.
Yes, Raja, that means when your body is showing signs of hunger, you should listen to it and go eat some food. It also works the other way, which means when your body is already full, you should stop eating and take some rest.
Oh, I see. You get that, Ain?
I sure do.
So I think that's the end of today's episode. To summarize today's episode, eating disorder aka ED is definitely a mental disorder defined by abnormal eating behaviors that adversely affect a person's physical or mental health. I want to thank Dr. Aisha and Miss Ain as our special guest for today's episode. Any last word, Dr. Aisha?
Remember guys, if you or someone you know is struggling, you are not alone. There is help available and recovery is possible.
Okay, so as we conclude, I encourage you to keep the conversation going. Share this episode to others and let's work together to break the stigma surrounding eating disorder. Your mental health really matters. Is it okay to ask for help? Thanks for listening. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and stay tuned for our next episode and take care of yourself until then. So, bye. Bye. Jom semua, jom. Semua gelap hamba. Wah. Aku nak batuk cakap. Tak rekod lagi kan? Dah. Nak cakap. Tak boleh pandang tak? Tak boleh pandang. Pandang lain.
It's a wrap, guys.